Mic'd Up.
Welcome, everybody. I'm John Reger, PGA MIC'D UP Broadcaster and host of this segment called Wild Bill's Golf Weather from the PGA Tour, coming to you from the Sea Dog Brewing Company studio in St. Augustine and the Backyard Golf Association in Gainesville, Florida. This is On the Tee Florida's MIC'D UP, and this week it's the Cadillac Classic on the PGA Tour. Not only will we hear about the weather forecast, which always plays an integral part of the outcome, we'll also include some banter about the local flavor from Miami. Now it's time for Wild Bill Storoe for his take on this week's weather and the blue monster of the PGA Tour.
Woohoo! Welcome to Miami, where the days are hot and the nights are even hotter. This week, Wild Bill's Golf Weather Report comes to you remotely live from Miami as the PGA Tour goes down south to challenge the Blue Monster. This is the latest in the PGA Tour signature events as at Trump Doral National hosts the Cadillac Championship is what is steaming up to be a very hot and humid event. Now, I was talking to my cousin down from in Miami. You know, everybody's got a cousin down in Miami, right? And my cousin down in Miami said that he says it's going to be hot and sticky, John. He says it's going to be hot and sticky on Thursday. It is going to be hot and sticky on Friday. And it is going to be hot and sticky on Saturday. Now, Sunday, we're going to be adding a little bit something else to that cocktail on Sunday called thunderstorms, John, with a 70% chance. That's going to make it hot and sticky and wet.
I feel like grabbing some underarm deodorant right now. I mean, my goodness, I'm sweating like a pig. Just listen to this.
Oh, yes. Yeah, and I expect temperatures to range from the high 70s up to about 90 degrees every day. And did I say it's going to be hot and sticky? We're going to start Thursday out Sunday and work our way towards rain and clouds as the increased thunderstorm chances on Sunday with a 70%. But as expected, we are still going to be very hot in Miami. So what does that mean for our players? Well, this swampland of a golf course sits upon waterline fairways, greens that require demanding precision from the tee to the green. And bunkers are numerous, fairways are narrow, and abundant water hazards typically result in at least one penalty average per round, even for the pros, believe it or not. And with the winds going to be blowing in the high teens all weekend and thunderstorms on Sunday, it's going to be a drinker. I will be surprised if any low scores reach any double digits. Get out your snorkel, John, because I think we're going to be looking for a lot of golf balls, especially around hole number 18. Now, back to my cousin down in Miami. He's got a snorkel, and he says we get mini golf balls next week. Cheap. And I'm sure he's going to find plenty after this weekend. And one other thing while we're down here, we're being tourists. We're going monster watching this weekend. We're looking for the legendary Blue Monster. Just like the Yeti, there are sightings, but no confirmations, John. Just sightings. And maybe a lost dog here or there, I've heard. Don't eat the street food. And that is Wild Bill's Golf Weather Report, reporting live remotely from Miami. Back to you, John. Woohoo!
We know Wild Bill, according to the On the Tee Florida's MIC'D UP AI search engine, our viewers probably want to know why do we call it the Blue Monster? And I pulled it up here. And it says that the Doral Blue course is called the Blue Monster because it's been known to be brutally difficult, water-laden, swamp-carved golf course that plays like a monster, according to the early tournament officials and players. And that's basically what it is. And I think that this tournament was started in 1962. And it was like the Doral Eastern Open. It used to be a wonderful airline called the Eastern Airlines, and it was a Doral Eastern Open. It was played from 1962 to 2006, and now they're bringing it back. And it had many gyrations. This tournament, it actually was a signature event for a while. It was a World Golf Championship, they called it, and it's many different sponsors and things like that. Hey, but Bill, locally there in Gainesville, Florida, there's a connection to Doral to Gainesville, Florida. I'll tell you what it is.
Oh, you happen
to be a dues-paying member in good standing at the Hawkstone Country Club, which it used to be called Hale Plantation. And so I had the privilege of many moons ago, I moved to Gainesville and I helped Gary Player, who was part owner of the course at the time with Bob Rowe and Jimmy Green and Charlie Blunt, the developers there, to build the Hale Plantation Golf and Country Club. And it was the only golf course that Gary Player owned in the world. He was good friends with Bob Dedman, who was the owner of Club Corp at the time. And so the deal was that Bob would buy Gary out down the road like 5 years from now, and it would become a Club Corp, which is now called Invited. And so that's the story about that. But there's a family named the Caskell family. And the Caskell family were the original developers of Doral, and they were the original developers of Hale Plantation. And there was a gentleman, he's deceased now, named Bob Kramer, who was working for the Caskell family and came to Gainesville to establish Hale Plantation. And the Village Center, where just down the road from the club there, is Disney Celebration came there and patterned what they were doing at Celebration after the Hale Village Center. So that's the local Gainesville flair. And I know that the viewers out here, they're like, wait a second, we've never even been to Gainesville, but kind of an interesting take with Doral and things like that. But it is the Blue Monster. That last hole is 473 yards, little dog leg left. And it's a hole that has ruined many a potential champion of that tournament and made a lot of potential champions there. And I guess that's one of the reasons they also call it the Blue Monster.
Yep, they probably got a Kraken sitting out there somewhere too.
That's right. Well, Bill, hey, where'd you get that 1962 Cadillac, man? We were driving around the golf course the other day in that.
We had to hot wire it. I had to return it this morning. It was a tricky start. Yeah, somebody had to push it, but we got her going. Now a sweet car though, huh?
Hey, let's talk a little bit about the Trump Doral resort down there. I know that I'm not sure what he spent for it. It's like maybe $150 million. Spent $200 and some million on renovating it.
$250 to
and
renovate.
With the Florida Sports Hall of Fame, we had our enshrinement down there years ago. And I can tell you that is absolutely a first-class place to go to stay and play golf. And it's incredible. And I think that there's 3 or 4 golf courses down there, plus a big teaching center, but it's in a community called Doral now. Doral's actually like a city now. Used to be way out in the middle of nowhere next to the airport. And it's really something there. So, if you haven't ever been there, you need to make a point to go stay there and play, because it is wonderful.
So fun fact that I learned when I was researching this golf course, apparently Trump put up like a 15-foot statue between the driving range and the putting area or practice area that like they saw Justin Thomas or something like that getting a selfie with it and stuff. But they said they just put that up just recently. So it's kind of funny. So they said
I read something
there's
about
gold everywhere.
Well, I read something about it's a gold statue. If you go to your social media, you'll see all kinds of posts about it. And I'm not quite sure about this. I don't have my details exactly right, but I think somebody built this statue and it didn't get paid for. And, maybe because someone was trying to use crypto and their crypto crashed. I don't know what the full story is, but the statue has ended up down there. And it's a big old gold statue. So, obviously the mob out there, the bots on social media, they're trying to make something out of it. But Ricky Fowler came up with the best comment this week. He goes, hey, listen, if I owned a golf resort like this, I'd put a gold statue of myself up there myself. Why not?
Me too. We need a Wild Bill statue on some golf course somewhere.
That's right. Well, you do,
like that.
Bill. You've got what our viewers out there don't realize. We say Backyard Golf Association in Gainesville. You have a 15-acre backyard golf course. Why don't you tell us about that?
This is the Trump hole right here with the palm trees, as you can see. But if you look carefully, way back there, we got flags back there. There's 5 of them out there now. I have a bamboo hole. I have a pool hole. We have the clubhouse hole. We have the signature hole over there. Yep. That's what I did during COVID. Kept my kids out of trouble. Oh, yeah. Nope. I think they need a Wild Bill hole. And Trump would be a good spot to put it. And then maybe the helicopters will come fly around my house.
See. We're not sure if we're not sure if backyard golf qualifies for the Trump Doral resort down there. Well, anyway, Bill, it's been wonderful to hear about the weather here, and it's been a great broadcast. So there you have it. You've been listening to Wild Bill's Golf Weather and Banter, sponsored by Sea Dog Brew Club, Treasure Island. For On the Tee Florida, I'm your host, Mic'd Up Broadcaster John Reger, PGA, and for Wild Bill Storoe, always remember to carry an umbrella in case it rains. See you next week, everybody.